Welcome to the LFG Pats Pod with your hosts, Joe and Mike. Let's go!
Let's go.
All right, welcome into the LFG Pats Pod. This is episode 50. So, Mike, we only got 2 more weeks and then we're done with season 1. Isn't that nuts?
A full calendar year, my friend.
Unbelievable.
Can you believe it?
Almost
We had no idea what we were doing when we first started out, and it's a full calendar year later, and we still don't know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you talking about? We still don't know exactly what we're doing.
But we've made inroads, and we've learned, and we made a lot of progress. So let's keep it going, boys. Let's keep it friggin' steady flowing. We love it.
Absolutely. So we got a lot to talk about, guys. But we got 2 special guests. We got Bryson. Bryson, thanks for joining.
Yeah, thank you guys. What they didn't tell you is that I made a few phone calls, and we allowed them to have the LFG. So Tom Brady let them have the LFG. So it's like wearing the Julian Edelman 11 for AJ Brown. So they're very humble guys. They won't tell you this, but I'll just tell you that Tom Brady let them use the LFG. So they're cool guys. So
he's a real trooper.
We have it trademarked now as well, so that's good.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it, and there's a lot of good stuff to talk about. I'm happy to be welcomed by you guys and also our good friend Patriots Pro. So,
who is off camera right now, but you can hear him.
You can indeed hear me, gentlemen. Thank you for having me, Bryson. As always, thank you for. I know I'm in ethereal. Yeah, I'm in the ether. Yeah, I'm ever present. I'm always there, especially for those 2 nerds on Twitter who I was beefing with earlier. I'm in your fucking brains, motherfucker. All right, learn how to use the correct "your" assholes. But no, gentlemen, thank you. It's always good to be on with you, especially talking about this free agency tampering period. Actually, let me correct myself. The new league year that just started 4.5 hours ago.
Absolutely.
Love it. For some reason, we're not posted to X right now, but either way, we'll get this added.
This is horseshit. It's a hokey operation. I know it. I never should have came on.
Let's try again tomorrow.
All right, guys. Be real. We're gonna pack it in. We're gonna close the whole shop. No, so thank you guys for joining. It's gonna be a great episode. Before we get into it, we got a lot to talk about. We have free agency. We have Maxx Crosby. The Raiders pretty much getting hosed over by the Ravens. We got a ton of other players getting signed, us making some more moves. And then what I really want to talk about with Bryson and PatsPro is I want to get your guys' take on a grade for this offseason so far. And I know it's still fresh, right? It's new. There's a lot there, we're not even in full-blown free agency yet. We got the draft coming up. There's a lot more things coming, but I want to get everyone's kind of take on where we're at. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. So far, from what I see, we're plugging in, positions of need. I was hoping for a little bit of a bigger splash overall, but I think the guys that we got are people that they clearly targeted. We're going to go through all the guys, so I'm not going to mention it all right now. But they targeted certain guys. They got those certain guys, and I think that they're not done as far as free agency is concerned, as far as filling out ancillary positions. And obviously then the draft, they'll fill the rest of it out with the draft. But on the whole, I think they're doing what they need to do. They didn't go as nuts. I would have liked them to go nuts, to be completely honest, just because it's exciting to see that. But I think right now they're kind of like, holding par for the course, just trying to improve those positions they thought they needed to improve upon, but we still have some work to do.
Agreed. All right, so before we get into it, boys, we got to talk about the sponsors. So Horizon HVAC, they were just at my house. I had a gas leak. Rhode Island Energy was here probably 4 times in the past week. So started out with a gas leak outside, gas leak on the inside at the water heater, and then finally we found out it was the furnace. Horizon HVAC came out within an hour. They had it fixed. They had the one of these parts in my furnace swapped out. Relatively cheap considering they waived a bunch of fees because obviously they're a sponsor. But yeah, no, this Horizon HVAC is awesome. They were out within, like I said, probably 3 hours. They were out and they were in and out within an hour. So Horizon HVAC, give them a call if you guys have any issues. We're now getting into the warmer months, so you want to make sure your AC is running cool. The next sponsor is Rogue Island. So big news when it comes to Rogue Island, guys. So we are absolutely having a draft night. And so we already have confirmed Pete Collins from Foxborough Fellows. We have Scotty B from Pat's Planet. We may have Los Talks Pats on. He may be in person flying in from the West Coast. So a lot of people coming in. PatsPro, if you are more than welcome. I know you don't you like to remain anonymous. I don't know if you want to come or not, but you're more than welcome to come. We won't tell them who you are. We'll say,
yeah, don't invite Bryson though. I can see he really wants it. No, I'm kidding.
Bryson's in a different state. So Bryson, you are more than welcome to come. We'll have you on the show. It'll be awesome. So we're doing a pre-draft show. I've already talked to Fanatics. There's a Fanatics rep that Scotty B put me on to that we're friendly with. And he said, look, we can't technically sponsor it, but we'll give you a bunch of swag to give out. Every person every host and co-host that's on the show is going to get a full outfit of Fanatics gear. And they're going to send us signed jerseys, hats, all kinds of stuff to give away live. So we're really excited. I've talked to my buddy Ryan Bissett at Rogue Island, and he's already concocting a menu. So we're going to have multiple TVs. We're going to have, and who knows, it may be uneventful with the Patriots, right? Because we're at 31st, and who knows if we trade down. But regardless, we're going to have amazing free food, free, by the way. And we're going to have drink specials, prizes, giveaways. Last time we did a 50-50 raffle, but people won a bunch of money and some gift baskets. So yeah.
And we're talking primo food, top of the line, top class stuff. Like this guy Ryan is a mad scientist. The spins that he puts on everyday cuisine is absolutely out of control. So everybody's gonna love the spread that he puts out, and the buffet is gonna be free, so it's gonna be completely awesome.
Yeah, but tip your waiters for sure. All right, so Bryson, we're going to start with a fun topic because I think it's kind of fun and funny that Tom Brady's getting completely fucked. Tell me about, what do you think about the whole Maxx Crosby situation? Give me your spiel.
All right. Well, first of all, I'll just say I'm going to be the one guy that has to pay to get in because, these guys, PatsPro and I, we're just regular guys. We're not sponsored. These are the guys with many sponsors. So we don't get any sponsorship. We're just here yapping for free, which is just fine.
We're doing it for the love of the fucking game over here, boys.
It's for the game. Oh, yeah. It's for the game. But these guys, they're way better than us.
We're making the big bucks. We're making the serious bucks.
We're just plebs over here. But yeah. So obviously this was something that made me really happy. I am actually wearing my Tom Brady 6 Super Bowl shirt that I received when the Patriots lost to the Titans in the playoff game. That was a really excellent game to go to. But yes, this does make me very happy. And you know what? Patriots fans, I'm going to call them Brady stands. Many of them were once my buddies. And now we're, as with many people on X, we're deeply feuding because I just disagree with them about Tom Brady. And you guys know the story, but my belief is that you should pick your own side. And if someone's not benefiting you, you should not go out of your way to help them. I mean, it's okay to help get people that are nice and randomly acts of kindness, right? Stuff like that. But the Brady, this is a guy that we all gave our support to for many years. People like me supported him in Tampa Bay and even further on, defending him from probably people like you guys when he left. And now Brady wants to be his own guy now. So I'm my own guy too. Drake May is my guy, and for that matter, if you're not on my team, you're done. So I laugh at Tom Brady and all this. Tom Brady is going to be remembered, and people are already saying it as like a Michael Jordan type character with the Raiders, which is funny. People are already saying this. People are tweeting me. People are laughing. It's like amazing that I feel like I didn't really start this, but I feel like I was one of the first people that were like, no, Brady's like, that's cooked. We're done with that stuff. And now it seems like a lot more people are on the Brady sucks wagon. And so people are actually having fun at his expense. Like I saw someone tweeting me, they're like karma for Brady, quote tweeting that post. But, overall, this is something one of my buddies DM'd me, and they were like, this is exactly what's going to happen. Hendrickson's going to go to the Ravens. They just really wanted him more because he decided to have interest, and they really already traded for Crosby. So they kind of just found a reason to just, get out of the trade deal. And, guys, if we were the Ravens, and we were the Patriots, we would be so stoked right now if that was the Patriots and they did that, to be honest with you. They don't have to give up the picks. They get Hendrickson. They got to pay the money, obviously, but they still have their picks back. And the Raiders are the one begging their face, right? So, everyone in the league is mad, but this is like, people always say this stuff like Josh McDaniels will never coach anywhere again. Like they say stuff like this all the time. This agent will never work with you again. Okay. It's like that will, to me, I just think that's such short-term stuff. Like it doesn't matter at all. People are going to say it's a big deal and they should be dock picks. Maybe they should. I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. If I was a Ravens fan, I would be like, this is the best thing to ever happen. Are you serious right now? Like, this is awesome. And the entire league is mad about it, which makes it even more fun, to be honest with you. So that's kind of my take about it. So Brady just got jammed up. He's got to be stuck with Maxx Crosby's salary too. An unhappy guy there. He's probably not going to get traded after that. So that's really awesome too. The Raiders are going to completely stink again. They're tanking. Beautiful. So yeah, take that, Tom Brady.
You got to love it. PatsPro, what do you think? Give me your thoughts.
Well, gentlemen, as I sit here holding my PSA 10 2024 Topps Chrome Drake May card, rookie card, by the way, nice card. It's PSA 10. Did I mention that?
Didn't mean to brag.
Don't mean to brag, of course. I pulled it myself. Anyways, I am overwhelmed with a profound sense of this is what you deserve, you weird chinned fucking asshole. We gave you a statue. We praised you for 20 some odd fucking years. And now you treat us with nothing but indifference and in oftentimes a true disdain that really comes through the TV. So I was a Brady stan up until about probably as soon as he said he didn't have a dog in the fight, and we find out he's messaging Seattle coaches good luck and fucking J and Mo, in private. That's when Brady lost me, and he'll always be the greatest of all time. The 20 years that he was our quarterback, I wouldn't give up for one singular moment, but I just cannot help but feel that this is so deserved for him trying to be the everything guy for everyone now. He's a commenter, he's an owner, he's taking an active role, blah 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 blah.
Agreed.
I think honestly for his ego, I think it's a good thing that the Crosby trade blew up in his face, because are the Ravens in the wrong here? Absolutely. They knew what they were getting into. They were clearly back channeling with Trey Hendrickson. And they were just able to say, oh, well, your meniscus is still a bit fucked up. And by the way, I think his meniscus is a little bit more than a bit fucked up. But they were able to, squirrel out of it, and they were able to get Hendrickson. More power to them. They're still pieces of crap, but they did the right thing for their team. They also stuck the Raiders with all of that bill and all of that money they just sent out to all those free agents who somehow they're going to still sign. So, good luck. Have fun. Yeah, have fun fucking panicking for the next 3 years. You deserve it.
Yeah, it's karma. It's real karma for Tommy. Two things can be true. We can love what he did, and we can also hate what he's doing now. So we seem to have a consensus in the room here about where Tom Brady's loyalties lie. And right now, they're lying in him being a front runner for whatever agenda he's trying to push at any given time, whether it be trying to put his hands in two different pots with commentating and advising the Raiders, whether he wants to take a bunch of responsibility. Who knows how much responsibility he actually has with the decision making with the Raiders, but they keep telling us, and I by they I mean like Mark Davis, the owner, and John Spytek, the GM. Those guys keep telling us that he has a significant amount of input. So yes, he had a significant amount of input into this, and they spent their balls off after the fact. So now they're screwed. But from the Ravens' point of view, they never do. That's an uncharacteristic move that they tried to make. They've never given up a first round pick for a player ever, and they were willing to give up two, and they knew he had a knee condition. So like just what PatsPro said, I agree. It is a degenerative knee condition, and I don't think it's ever going to get any better. But again, they knew they were buying damaged goods. Apparently, the goods that they shopped for upon further inspection were a lot more damaged than they were willing to deal with. But I think that they made the deal in a little bit of bad faith at the time, and that they were giving themselves an out if there was any kind of red flag whatsoever. But the fact remains that, and it's been reported on PFT, Mike Florio said that independent doctors throughout the league, like different teams doctors, the Cowboys team doctor, like it wasn't just an independent Ravens medical staff decision. They took opinions from many other people throughout the medical world and the NFL world and came to that consensus. And I understand that. And now Eric DeCosta is saying, well, no, we would have signed Trey Hendrickson anyway, even if we did get Maxx Crosby. Does anybody really believe that?
No.
They were going to spend that much money on those two ends? So they got cold feet. They screwed the friggin' Raiders straight up, which is absolutely fine with me. And they pivoted and they get the second best guy, who's a guy that's not as impactful as Maxx Crosby. But I don't feel bad for either team in any way whatsoever in this scenario. I don't have any love for either of those teams. They screwed each other over. Now they have bad faith. Better them than us. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with all you guys. I've been feeling this for the past few months. I'm just like, Brady just has this it's very petty. It's a very shitty stance for somebody.
Who's he mad at, Joe? Who's he mad at?
He's mad at Kraft. I mean, there's nobody else to be mad at, right? Belichick's not there. So it's only
because
Kraft.
He wouldn't buy in. He wouldn't let him buy in. Is that why?
Yeah, I think this is the same thing as Michael Jordan, right? If everything went perfect, you'd see Michael Jordan as part owner of the Bulls, but that never happened, right? And so it just, I think it just comes down to this was a situation that was bound to go this way, because it was a bad breakup. He left, he went to the Bucks, he won a Super Bowl, said fuck you to everybody when he did that. And then Kraft gave him a statue, and I think he tried to smooth it over, but he also didn't sell the team, and then he sold somebody else part of the team. So it's like, yeah, he's justified to an extent, but by doing all this, he's giving the middle finger to us, which you can't help but give it back to him. Like, fuck him.
And by extension, he's giving it to Mike Vrabel, too. What did Mike Vrabel and this current regime ever do to Tom Brady? Yep. We have nothing to do with him. Those guys were supposedly buddies when they played together, and I know that he's butthurt because Brady wanted Vrabel to interview for the Raiders job, and Vrabel told him, look, you already know I'm going to end up in New England, so I'm not going to waste your time. And I think that kind of went up Brady's ass a little bit, too, to not even grant the Raiders an interview because he knew where he wanted to be, and he's where he wanted to be. That might play a little bit into it, too, but by and large, I just think it's like petty jealousy and like being butthurt about not being able to buy into the Patriots organization.
Yeah, I think we've said all that needs to be said about this one. And I think these Ravens are, like you said, they're better off. They have Trey Hendrickson and they have both their picks. That 14th pick is going to be pretty huge. They can get a lot of players with that pick. You could go offense, you could go defense. There's plenty of options there to set yourself up for the future, which Crosby that never made sense. Like you go Crosby to the Ravens. Are they really one player away like that? I just don't see it. I mean, their defense was pretty banged up. So you add that to a lot of guys on IR coming back. And then, yeah, maybe that defense is now elite, but I don't know.
But so
new coach, new situations. I'm
not trying to catch Cincinnati off guard there?
Maybe, yeah.
It's like a double whammy because if they just would have signed Hendrickson, that kind of the Bengals really maybe are they in the Maxx Crosby contention now? So it's kind of a double whammy for their in division team.
The Bengals will never make that move. They're too tight. The Bengals are too tight as an organization. They won't make a big splash like that. I wanted to ask PatsPro something about the knee condition of Maxx Crosby. So you think that that's worse than anybody's really actually letting on?
By the way, before you answer that, we're live right now. There was a payment issue.
Ooh,
the card that I had on my X account just literally expired, so I just changed it.
Oh yeah, it was expired. Sure.
Is that what you've been doing?
I swear to God, yeah. I look at it. It says, "Hey, we're about to shut off your premium." I'm like, "No."
It figures to happen. That's great timing. It happened right tonight of all nights.
Unbelievable.
You know,
Priceless.
unbelievable.
Priceless.
But to get back to the actual question at hand, and I have no information on this specifically. This is just a feeling that I have. I think that, and I talked about this on my podcast last night. Shout out the PatsPro podcast.
Hell yeah. Welcome back, man, by the
Thank
way.
you.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. I just think that there was a reason that the Raiders shut Crosby down last year because they were worried about his long-term health. And Crosby took that as, oh, you guys are trying to screw me, trying to screw the team, trying to guarantee the number one pick, when in reality, he is, nose blind to his own condition, essentially. I think his knee was much worse than he thought it was. I think the Raiders identified it correctly. I think once that Neil Elitrage got in there for everything he can say about how on track Maxx Crosby is in his recovery, I think that it's an absolute mess in there. I think there's a lot of degenerative stuff going on in there. Maybe it's just a lack of cartilage. I don't know. But I think that the Raiders weren't fully aware what it looked like after the surgery because we've been in the off season. And I think once the Ravens started to poke around in there and really get, a look at his scans and everything, they were like, oh, no, that's not good. We can't do that. And that's when they started to make the moves that they did. Now, were they talking to Hendrickson at the same time that Crosby was in the building as was reported? I don't know. It would make sense, especially if the doctors truly did have concerns. But I just think you don't, from a PR perspective, you don't go in saying, hey, we're going to give you 2 first-round picks for this amazing player and then fail him on the physical for absolutely no reason because you feel like you can get a cheaper player who's not as good. From a PR perspective, you just don't do that. So his knee has to be messed up, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it's a PR nightmare, right? It is. Like you have
it's
to
a bad
deal
look.
with
It's a bad look
deal
no
with the
matter what.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
All right, so
let's move along. We got free agency to talk about.
I
guys.
know we do have.
We
free
spent
agency.
all that time on Maxx Crosby. We got free agency, guys.
I know. So let's talk about the Patriots news today, boys. So Bryson, what's your take on today? Now let's not go into the whole free agency, but today, what did you like about today? What did you not like about today?
Why don't we just get into it?
Just get right into it. All right. So what's your take on free agency? All right, let's just jump straight into it. What's your take so far?
LFG Pats podcast listeners, the diehards will be like, man, that Bryson guy called it right after the Super Bowl. He walked right into the LFG Pats podcast studio and said, this is exactly what they're going to do. They'll sign an edge, they'll sign a guard, and, that's what they're going to do. And, I think a couple of days ago, I'd said that they would be a little bit more aggressive than that, and they were. So I do actually like that. And, I like Veritecker, and I like Gilliam, and I like a couple of these guys. Dobbs is okay. I think he's very similar to Diggs, maybe a little bit more explosive, a little bit younger, healthier, rather. Got a big old helmet. That might be just fine, though, because Drake May can see him better. But, I actually do like a little bit what they did, that obviously makes it easier, especially if you can play. Vera Tucker's a good player. Makes it easier on Will Campbell. They're obviously going to stick with him there, which, that's fine if Vera he's a good player. So, that just means you have maybe one spot that you're a little worried about, like we said. So, I'm not here to be the Debbie Downer guy. A lot of my non-Patriots fans were like giving me shit on day one, and I was like getting mad, and I just didn't say anything, and I just kept tweeting, I am delusional and I will win, and then I ended up winning anyway. So, and the AJ Brown stuff is still out there, so I just really feel like they're missing one thing still, and how much did they really improve their team, considering they lost Diggs, right? Not too sure how much they improved the team generally. Like how many wins are you going to say? They're probably going to win less games, to be honest with you. I mean,
they have to. Yeah.
I don't know how much better. And like the discourse on the fullback is like that stuff just actually makes me mad. And the old heads will get mad about that. And don't get me wrong, this is a good player right here. But he's a fullback. Okay. He might be awesome, but he is a fullback. You know, the one thing the Seahawks didn't walk away from the game, they weren't like, man, if the Patriots just had a fullback, they would be fucking sick. Okay. That's cope from
It's a
us.
complimentary piece. It's a McDaniels piece. I agree, though. It's not going to put you over the hump. It's definitely not going to do that.
Yeah, it's going to be good. You know, there's good elements there, and I like that. He seems like a good guy, and actually, some of them think he's like one of the most athletic guys in the NFL, which that's really cool too, obviously. But you know, they are to me, they're still missing that one thing on offense, and I think that is a much better receiver, much better tight end. Tight end's going to be a little bit more difficult to obtain right now, and you know, AJ Brown is still out there somewhere and holding the. You know, I find it interesting that you hear all this AJ Brown talk, and everyone is also just like, yeah, it's the Patriots or no one. Yeah, it's the Patriots or no one. It's like almost as if AJ Brown is like, it's really kind of up to him in a lot of ways. The Patriots obviously have to give the Ravens are on my mind. They obviously have to give the Eagles the compensation for it. However, it
Still
is
a bird.
There's a reason why that it's just the Patriots, and it's because that AJ Brown just really wants to be there. Okay, so I think that's a good sign for the Patriots. They can hold that in their back pocket, and the good thing about the free agency and then getting Dobbs is that the Patriots can come to the table with more leverage and say like, yeah, for us, we're gonna say that would be way better if they would have AJ Brown, but they can say like, hey, we signed our wide receiver, like we're not desperate out here. We don't need to be giving up next year's first or whatever. How will you come back to the table with this, once everything's done? And who knows, maybe AJ Brown, he's just like, I just don't want to play for the Eagles. These Eagles fans cope about this, right? It's like he went on Edelman's podcast and is winking about the Patriots. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
Like this is not just like stuff I'm making up. He
had a lot to say on that podcast. I saw that.
Yeah, this is strategic, and this is something that he's legitimately always wanted this. So he's always wanted to be a Patriot.
He was crying when we didn't draft him. Right. That's a story. That's a fact.
Yes,
he wanted to be drafted by the Patriots. And so was I. I'm like, are you kidding me? This guy, just watching his tape from Ole Miss, I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. This guy is built like this and he can move like that. He takes slants, like a literal 5-yard slant to the house. Like he was doing this in college. He came to Tennessee. He was doing it instantly. I was so butthurt when he went to the Titans and then had to watch him for however many seasons until he went to the Eagles.
Well, you know why we didn't draft him, right? Did you ever hear that story, Joe?
It was his pre-draft visit.
Yeah, who
was he with? He was with one of his buddies, another receiver.
Debo.
He was with Debo.
Yeah.
And they were like all comfortable and joking with each other and being just happy young individuals with a great opportunity. And Belichick thought that they weren't serious when they were just having the time of their lives.
Belichick was a boomer. He did the fucking boomer move.
Unfreaking believable, man.
Imagine if we draft AJ Brown, Tom Brady never leads, and we win at least another 2 Super Bowls. I'm not even kidding. Not even a joke.
You couldn't rule it out.
Do you know that they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars at the Patriots for consultants to talk to Bill Belichick and his staff about what kids are up to today?
I'm not surprised. He's so
disconnected. What Snapchat is. Here's the lingo. Like every year, there's always this stuff that they're talking about, right? Like just insane to me. But yeah, you're right about that. But yeah, overall, it's like, okay, that's kind of what you need. That's a lot better than a nothing burger in the free agency. They were a little bit more aggressive than, all the beat guys. Like, when are these guys ever right? First of all, how many times do I have to tell you in the offseason that these guys know jack shit about anything? They're just like, yeah, I can't really see the Patriots doing anything. They sign like 5 starters in free agency. It's like every year they know nothing. Like, I'm not going to go on a rant about the beat guys because you guys are probably friends with them. But these guys inherently know nothing. Oh, they're not going to be aggressive. And it's like, yeah, actually, they're going to be pretty aggressive. And they were aggressive. So anyway, it's like a B-. Right. I do need some
pending, right? Pending another move.
How do you not see this team like as inherently the same, but now they have a fullback? And then I can't even Vera Tucker, I like a lot, but I can't even say is he going to play 17 games? Like, what happens if he gets hurt? Imagine we're sitting there, it's week 17, and he's questionable and into a playoff run, and we're
or on IR.
We're like, No, this is the worst thing ever. So he's a really good player.
Ben Brown, here we go.
The way they that's a good point. And the way they set up the contract is very nice. That's awesome. So I do like that a lot. So I think their offensive line is going to be much better this year.
The highest roster bonuses, in-game active bonuses in history, $250,000 per active game. Never been done before. So at least they're hedging their bets on that. But that means we need to hedge our bets on depth as well.
Give this boy some peptides, okay? Get him some peptides, have him bone smashing, get him in the game, whatever it takes. So, yeah, one more player, guys. That's all we need. We just need
keep him away from the substations. PatsPro, what do you think, man? What do you give us your off-season free agency spiel?
So if you ask me about my feelings on the offseason, 3 p.m. on the 9th, I'm ready, to jump off the Newport Bridge. That's just, it's who I am. I run hot. Some may call me Doomer Pro, which totally earned, and I respect it. Now, having said that, from the individual player standpoint, it's probably like a B to a B plus for me. I feel like we have spent money. Now, yeah, there's been some shenanigans, which there always are and always will be with this organization. But in a vacuum, all of these players look great. But from like the holistic 30,000-foot view, to steal a point from my buddy Dan Rotman, from the 30,000-foot view, I don't understand the overall vision of the offense if you're not going to be making another move to get a wide receiver. An alpha wide receiver, Brian Thomas Jr., A.J. Brown. Here's the problem. When it comes to, I love what that guy just said. It is how God intended. That's how God intends to play football.
Collisions, pad, men.
Yes.
Pad.
Old school.
From a wide receiver standpoint, so just to break it down, everyone got mad at me because I was vague posting Lord of the Rings memes. And they were like, what does this mean? This has to be about A.J. Brown. It was, because there were certain things that I was hearing from certain people. And, they're not always right, but, they give me some stuff. My one true guy was like, they're talking about it. Like, he's like, I don't have anything more. But I kept hearing, it's going to get done. It's going to get done. It's going to get done. It's almost there. It's going to get done. And then it falls the fuck apart. Because guess what? The Eagles don't want to eat $40 million in dead cap right now. Now, will they be willing to eat $20 million in dead cap after June 1? Yes. Yeah. However, even if we get to June 1, I still don't see the A.J. Brown trade happening. I just don't. Because here's the thing. The Patriots are, you could say with Bill, they were never willing to overpay. That is a team thing. It was also a Bill thing, but it's also a team thing. They are not going to overextend themselves a single iota, centimeter, whatever unit of measurement you want to use. They're not going to overextend themselves. You're going to come to them. They're going to pay their price. And if you're not willing to meet their price, the deal's not going to get made. And I can almost guarantee that Howie Roseman is not going to want to make that deal at the Patriots price. So I think that it's just better off that Patriots fans move on from the idea of A.J. Brown being a Patriot. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think you're wrong. I do think the longer it goes, the less the likelihood is that he actually does come, because I actually think right now we're kind of in that, like, we're dancing with him right now, and maybe he's taking a seat. Maybe we got another girl coming up and we're trying to dance with her. And I think honestly, this is part of how he is a master manipulator, man. I don't care. He's the best GM in football. Yeah. He might be the best GM in history, honestly. But so you look at Howie, and you look at how they got A.J. Brown, right? Remember how we got A.J. Brown?
They got him on draft day. They traded the Titans traded for their first round pick, the Eagles' first round pick, and drafted Treylon Burks, who was an epic failure.
Flipping burgers right now.
So yes, I understand that point.
My point in saying that is, I think there's a very good possibility that on draft day this happens, and this is because Howie might see somebody that fell to 31. Granted, they're taking well before us, but if someone falls to 31 that he likes, case they have Casey Concepcion in for a pre-draft workout, he might pull the trigger. Then he might do something unexpected and say, "Hey, you want it? We'll take your pick here."
It still doesn't solve the June 1st cap disparity.
No, it doesn't. But I think I'm saying that I could see Howie bending at that point, because it's either he bends at that point or he has to wait even further to and then the longer he waits and gets close to the June 1st, that price goes down. So I think he's in a little bit of a pickle too, where does he want that draft pick? Does he want that position? But I think he's leaving that open to see what happens in the draft. If someone falls to 31, he might be like, all right, yeah, just kidding. Give us a first.
Here's the problem I also have with it. I have a problem with every single member of both national and local media just constantly saying, oh, well, the signing of Romeo Doubs doesn't necessarily preclude the Patriots from acquiring A.J. Brown or a similar wide receiver. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut up. You know it does, in my opinion. You know it does. And it's just it's a national and local talking point at this point. It's a talk radio point. That's all it is. I'm sorry. The Patriots have told the Eagles what they're willing to pay. The Eagles have said that's not good enough, and the talks are done. It's not happening, especially right now. Put it out of your mind. If we
definitely
get past,
not right now, I agree.
Definitely not right now. If we get past June 1st, and you're probably going to hear a Burt Breer, oh, there's been talks. And you know how Burt likes to fucking rub himself while he, gives all this bullshit info. Oh, there's been talks with A.J. Brown and the Patriots alive again. It's all horseshit. It's just a media narrative because it's a slow news cycle and you need to get some Patriots news. It is not going to happen. Having said that, I believe my grade is like an 87, like a B or a B plus, depending on who's grading the paper. Because they did, push some guys out the door, especially Diggs with questionable off-field stuff, making $28 million this year. I get it. They brought in pieces who, again, in a vacuum, really good. Romeo Doubs I actually really like. Not to say I called it, but I kind of called it that once Alec Pierce was off the board, they pivot the Doubs. 6'2", 200 pounds, can separate, good red zone target. It's exactly what you need for Drake May.
He could be an upgrade on Diggs. Like, that's not even bullshit. Like, obviously, prime Diggs, we're talking a different animal.
The problem is he would have to have the best season of his career to do what Diggs did last year.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying stats wise. Like, forget fantasy for a minute. I'm saying pure receiver wise, what he can do. I think he can do what Diggs did. That's for last year. Like, what was he able to do? He was able to get into holes in the zone, right? He's he's definitely a better separator. There's no doubt about that.
100%.
Like, Doubs is definitely a better separator. He's probably a better deep threat. Like, right? Let's be honest.
From where Diggs is right now, yes, he has more long speed.
So it's like what it comes down to there is knowledge of the game, right? Does he have the knowledge to read a defense and figure out soft spots in the zone and all that stuff? That's like veteran type stuff that maybe that's where Diggs gets the edge, but it's at least a wash, in my opinion. It's at least a wash.
Yeah. So I think it's a good replacement for your number 2 wide receiver. If we're not going to be chasing anyone, and I really don't think that we're going to be chasing anyone, especially from a trade perspective in the draft, that's a different story, but I don't really know who fits that bill. I just don't understand the 2026 vision at receiver.
It's tough. It really is. Mike, give us your take.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the free agency as a whole, I feel like we did some things that addressed very specific needs, like Draymond Jones. He can set an edge. That was Chaseon's weakness, was setting the edge. So they got a guy that knows how to set the edge. So they filled that hole. As far as Reggie Gilliam, we didn't have a player like that on our roster. And they're going to move him around. He's going to be a move type of guy. And they're going to put him in a lot of different positions. You watch him with the Bills, and he would line up off formation, and he would like continue to go into motion and crack back on guys and come down and protect the edge of the line of scrimmage. He does do some full lead blocking, but they move him around more, which makes him like a very interesting chess piece. So he's an upgrade from a Jack Westover. I don't even think I need to say that at all.
I think I'm an upgrade over Jack Westover.
Seriously, Elijah Vera Tucker, when he is on, he is dominant. He's a road grader in the run game, and he can hold his own in the pass game. And Joe, you and I have talked about his injuries. Well, let's look at the injuries, okay? There were 2 triceps. He tore both of his triceps, and he tore his Achilles. Now, typically, I don't know about him, but typically when those specific injuries get surgically repaired, they normally, with proper rehab, come back even stronger. So I would think that the guy would be ready for the long haul this year, but they did hedge their bets. Like I said, $250,000 per game roster bonus if he's active for that particular game. So they did a good job hedging their bets there, and it's not a bad contract. It comes out to like 14 million a year. I'll pay that for a guy that has the potential to be an elite left guard in the league. Romeo Dobbs, I think a lot of things about Romeo Dobbs. Now, comparing him to Stephon Diggs, I think is accurate. I think you can compare him to Stephon Diggs. Now, Stephon Diggs earlier in his career, and he did it this year too, but this year he was like more known for inside over the middle stuff. But throughout the longevity of his career, he's lined up everywhere in every single spot, and he's ran every single route. Romeo Dobbs does that. He lines up in every single spot. Now, he was outside 82% of the time this past season, but that also means that there was 18% of the time when he was inside. And I saw a couple of plays where they do like the slot fade, or like he'll sit down in his zone. The guy is a very good route runner, and he's very aware of situal zone awareness. And I think that he is going to be an actual upgrade from Diggs because he can do different stuff. Is he the final answer? Absolutely, in no way whatsoever. And as far as Kevin Byard is concerned, you can't get a better signing than that. I don't care that he's 32 years old. The guy has been an all-pro. He was the first team all-pro at 32 years old, first of all, and he's been an all-pro in the past as well. He knows Vrabel. He had one of the most impactful seasons for a safety last year. The guy's an absolute animal. I absolutely love that signing. I wish we could have signed him for 2 years because I think he'll be just as good at 33 as he was at 32. And as far as the rest of it, it's all ancillary stuff. But I will say one thing about the Julian Hill kid from Miami. He's an excellent inline blocker, and they signed him to a 3-year deal. And that's the extent of what I know about him when it comes to that. But he's an inline blocker that they signed to a 3-year deal. I don't know the number on that yet, but it's obviously not nothing to them.
Special
they
teams,
that
inline blocking, depth piece, right? Yeah, he's
so a 3-year
body,
deal. It indicates that they expect him, they anticipate him to make the final 53. Now, where I'm very, very concerned is the depth on the edge. We keep getting rid of edge players, and we got this one guy in. That's not going to be enough. We got rid of Jack Gibbons, off ball linebacker. We don't have any depth there. We got this blocking tight end. Fine. But we have absolutely no depth there. We don't have any depth behind safety, behind Woodson and Byers. We still have a lot of work to do. But as far as this free agency class, I give it a solid B all across the board for targeting guys that they knew that they wanted to fill specific gaps that they knew they needed to fill. So I'll give them a B for the free agency class so far.
Yeah, I think we're all around the same grade because I'm going to say B minus, and mainly because, and that could swing significantly if they do either thing, which is, get another tight end. Like Njoku would just round this team out so well, right? That's the obvious move. That you could look at like a Jonnu Smith. You could look at, I don't know, Will Disley. There's some guys out there that are pretty good blockers / catchers. But then if, like you talked about edge, Mike, and I think there's a decent amount of edge guys. Joey Bosa is out there, but I'm really not interested. He's going to come with a big price tag, injury history. Not a fan. I don't think he's got much left. But who I really like it's a sneaky pick, and I think he'd be cheap, is Cameron Jordan. He's still out there. Granted, he's on his 15th year, but this guy is still productive. Last year, at 10.5 sacks last year. Great edge setter. You have Cameron Jordans and Draymond Jones mixed with Milton Williams and Barmore, and you can get Cameron Jordan for like $6 or $7 million. So I think he'd be a great guy, and then you can still draft edge in the draft because these guys are getting a little older, and you're going to need to look at the future, rotate these guys in. But again, the big thing that's going to allow them to get to an A or even a B plus is how do they address this weapon shortage that we clearly have? Because when you play teams in the playoffs, they're going to have a lockdown corner or two. And they're going to have, amazing safeties, great linebackers, right? You're not going to be able to, you're going to need to separate, and you're going to need key guys that you can throw the ball to and say, I trust my guy more than yours. If we would have drafted Ted McMillan, we would have had that. Just going to say that. But I think there are some guys in this draft that can do that. Now, the interesting trap here is if we do this in the draft and don't go get an AJ Brown or a Brian Thomas or a Chris Olave or one of these guys, again, I get it, right? Everyone says it takes two to tango, but I don't want to be in the desperate position where we draft a receiver and we say, oh, Casey Concepcion or Omar Cooper, right? Like, these guys are great, but are they going to come in this year and do anything? Because
I don't have any faith in that. I don't have any faith.
Yes.
These guys are going to come in and they're going to be
Omar Cooper's a dog.
Year one, right? Wide receivers, that's the one position that you can bank on. If they're good, they will play and they will be good. It's like it's not the same, really. If you look around the NFL, like DK Metcalf in his first year, AJ Brown in his first year, like most of these guys that are good at wide receiver, they're good really fast. So I'm actually with you guys. We should really be, I'm with you that the draft is good for wide receivers. We should be really moving the Patriots to just not be afraid and just invest heavily, high and mighty for wide receivers because – draft 2 wide receivers, 3 wide receivers. They have a good bit of picks.
You got to take shots.
If you get a start, imagine if they just hit. They're like, oh my gosh, we just hit on. Imagine how good. We all have that pit in our stomach right now. We can feel it. How mad we are going to get at the Patriots offense with them. I mean, it's just right. The haters are right. The schedule is going to be more hard this year, more difficult. Yeah. We can all feel it in our stomach that we're going to be mad at this Patriots offense when they're playing good teams. Even though their line is much better, at the end of the day, they still need these explosive plays. And we saw it's just like the Drake May ultimate deep ball is just like not a thing you can just really rely to be like the best of all time in the NFL. So we just need them to double dip, triple dip in the draft and just figure it out, man. If they miss on wide receiver, like I totally get it, but you can't just. I don't think you can walk away from this year and not try to do that. At least
I just don't.
I
don't have any faith in them actually doing that because based on Kyle Williams and the fact that the year before that, Jalen Polk and Javon Baker weren't drafted by Mike Vrabel, but they were drafted by Elliott Wolf, and Mike Vrabel had absolutely no use for those guys. He tried to make them work and couldn't do it. So until further notice, these guys can't draft receivers that can actually develop right now. That's my bet. They're way overdue, but I can't say that until I see them actually develop a wide receiver. So I don't know what they're going to do with Kyle Williams. He needs to take a huge jump. They made a third-round investment in him, and he needs to take a jump. He might need to move inside a little bit because now they need inside help. So they might need to redefine his role a little bit. But so far, I don't have a whole lot unless it's a blue chipper, which we're not in the position to draft. I don't have a whole lot of faith in them drafting a developable wide receiver right now.
I just really think that first and second round wide receivers, you have to invest in those guys. And those it's nice to think that wide receivers will just develop, but these are guys that will just pop. I like Kyle Williams, but I just really can't see where he's gonna take a massive leap. He's not gonna get faster. He's not gonna get quicker. He's probably really not gonna get stronger. And if he does, who cares? These are a lot of times these things are Julian Edelman was one of the best athletes of all time to come out of the combine, and he was really good. He played punt returner in his first year. He just wasn't getting those reps. This is a little bit different where we've seen Kyle Williams play, and if you guys remember, it's all summer long. Kyle Williams is not in the right place, and just he looks
lost. He looks lost.
But he's looked okay at times, so I could see where you could say with more reps he might be better. But I just think that they're not ever going to be in a position to have a wide receiver that they will be able to sign to their second deal because they're not drafting them high. It's one of those conundrums. They actually have to do it. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen, right?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So here's the way I feel on it. If you have a chance to draft a wide receiver at 31 and you're waiting, okay, do we draft an edge? Do we draft a wide receiver? I kind of think you have to go wide receiver Like if Casey Concepcion is there, I doubt he will be, but you have to take him. I mean, there's so many things that that don't happen anymore. Like it used to be that a good wide receiver would get to free agency and he'd be able to pick him up, but it doesn't happen anymore. The cap keeps going up and up and up and up, and these teams are very smart in figuring out how to keep their best players. Obviously, no shit. But like Bryson said, you need to just keep taking the shots. If you stop shooting, you're never going to hit.
PatsPro, I got a scenario for you. I want you to. Here we go. So clearly we were in on AJ Brown, which means we're willing to give up picks. And I don't know if it was a first or a combination of a first and a third, or who knows what the Pats offer was. But assuming they were willing to give up future picks to go get AJ Brown, what do you think the odds are this year that they're willing to give up future picks to move up? And to move up, so get somebody.
I'm probably in the minority here. I think that moving up is potentially in their future. I don't know if it's moving up into higher in the first round. I don't know if that's trying to get up into the beginning of the second round. But let me just put it to you this way: they have
like a mid-grade move up to higher in the second. I see.
Yeah, so like going from 60 whatever to 37. They have 11 picks. They don't need 11 rookies.
They have 4 6th-rounders. They need to freaking package those things.
Correct. So they have 4 6th-rounders. They've got, I think, 2 4th-rounders.
Yep.
And I think there is a scenario where you can package your second-round pick, one of the 4th-rounders and 2 of the 6th-rounders, and somehow figure out how to get up 25 spots.
Yeah,
I think that's a possibility, and I think that is one of the more realistic possibilities. They say, you know what, we've identified certain guys that we are pretty well informed that are going to go in a certain area, and we want to get up to try to get somebody who we've identified. I think truly that trading up is more of an option this year than trading back. That's just how.
So PatsPro, like you mentioned, Casey's Concepcion, like if he does fall to 31 and we take him, do you not feel that his skill set is a little bit redundant to some of the other guys that we have on the squad right now?
It is, however, if you watch his tape, he's an excellent separator. And that's what I'm really concerned about, is this team cannot get people to separate consistently, which is why they brought in Dobbs, because he is able to get people to consistently separate. Casey, I think, brings a lot of those skill sets that, maybe a Kyle Williams has, whereas, really good release package, pretty quick wide receiver. I forget what he ran, but I know it was good.
It's like 4.4 something.
Yeah, 4.4. So he's quick. He's got a good release package. He can get open down the field. So my feeling of it is, if you can take that shot, get KC going, then you have another actual weapon that people are going to fear down the field. So that's just
about the quarterback late scenario. There might be a run on these like special players like wide receivers, and someone is like trying to trade back into the first for like a quarterback or something, because I think this is going to be a sneaky good quarterback draft, and one of these guys is probably going to fall. And the Patriots actually just might be in the spot, because every team in the 32-31 range are like sometimes in that spot where a team wants to trade up for the 5th-year option of a quarterback. So they could also be in that spot, and I would actually be for that. Like the
trade down, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind it at all.
I actually like both the trade up and the trade down scenario.
You can't give up next year's pick, though. You can't.
No. That's fine. That's fine. We have enough picks this year, I think, to make that happen if we wanted. I'm not saying move up to like 9, but I'm saying you could move up to like a 20, right? And if to me, there's some guys there that are really interesting. You got Jordan Tyson, right, who could potentially be. What's that?
A lot of things going on with Christian Barmore. There's a lot of noise there. He is a really good player, but I do wonder if that might be something that happens.
Could that be a chip, right? Could that be a chip? You take our first and Barmore and move up big time. I mean, who
I wouldn't rule it out.
I wouldn't rule it out either. But to me, there's a lot of guys that really interest me in that 14 to 20 range. And who knows how that shakes out, right? We saw it happen with Gonzalez. Gonzo dropped to 19. And he was widely
16.
regarded as like
17.
17.
I thought it was
He was
16. Whatever.
he was
No,
widely
Emmanuel
regarded as
Forbes went 16.
oh, that was hysterical.
And I was laughing at
dying
the freaking Commanders the whole time.
They drafted a
when
literal
they drafted
child.
Forbes.
And so, but no, I like to me,
That was
like
funny.
guys I see out there that are like Eli Stowers, right? Who I think is a complete stud. He's an ex-quarterback who, like, you know, to me, he's a tactician when it comes to route running.
Double pass.
Yeah, he's just one of these guys that I feel like could really pan out in the NFL with his athleticism. He completely blew up the combine. A near 9'9" Raz guy, crazy measurables. I think you
can trade back and get him in the middle of the second, Joe.
I don't know, man.
I'm standing on it.
All right. I think he's gaining steam. But again, this is where I agree, Mike. I think there's a weird between 15 and like 40-ish, right? There's this weird, like, who knows what's going to happen. So I agree. You could trade back from 31 to 37, 38, grab another, you know, second rounder, patch in another, like a fifth for a second. And, you know, like, there's definitely movement you can do here in this draft, and I think
I'm also going to stand on the fact that they're not going to trade up. I do not see this team trading up at all. It's got to be an absolute friggin' stud that they really love in order to do that. I think they put their draft picks at more of a premium because Vrabel insists he has to build his team through the draft. So I don't see that going. So
they want more players. I'm with you. They want more players rather than less. I completely agree. I think that's their strategy.
It'll be awesome either way. We'll see.
All right, boys. What else have we got? Anything else? I think, Bryson, any closing comments, closing thoughts?
Yeah, I just really think that they should draft as many. I like the fact that people are not talking. They're not like Patriots fans. Just like me and PatsPro are a lot alike in the same way. Like the first day, we're just really mad because we want a receiver really bad.
Same.
Because all of us intuitively saw the playoffs. We see the Patriots against. Remember what the Seahawks said about the Patriots. What did they say? They were like, "If we stop Drake May, that's
it. We knew it was just Drake May. If we stop him, it's over."
They didn't say if we can get past their left tackle. They didn't say if we can stop their fullback. They didn't say if we can lock down Stephon Diggs. They said if we can stop Drake May, it's over. And you know what? The other thing that really makes me mad, and let's talk about it for like 5 minutes. This take, okay? We argued in my chat last night about this. This take that people say about Josh McDaniels' offense, where they're like, it doesn't need a one. Oh, we throw to the open player around here. Okay. Oh, yeah, really? What do they do in the rest of the NFL, dummy? Do they throw to the not open player? What are you talking about? Okay. Every team, you know, inherently today, without the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's, all these great quarterbacks, they do the same thing. They're scheming players open too. What are you saying?
Anybody who is bending a knee or giving any props to Josh McDaniels after that playoff performance is absolutely delusional and coping, because Josh McDaniels shit his pants more than anybody on that field in the Super Bowl. I don't care what anybody says. It
was a terrible game plan. It was a terrible
game plan, terrible adjustments, terrible. I cannot say.
Didn't throw to the open player, guys. Okay.
Yeah, right.
And to Bryson's point, if you have a solid number one, you don't need to spread it around. The guy's he's going to
be open. That's why he's going to be spread it around.
He's going to be open.
So
you don't need to spread it around because the guy's going to get himself open all the time.
It's like, wow, the guy's magically all the time open. We're going to throw. Is that a bad thing suddenly? Like, what is
seriously?
Like, do you think that Josh McDaniels has some sort of like voodoo Kabbalah magic on like NFL offensive schemes? He's running the same shit that a lot of teams are running.
Separation and getting open is overrated. Okay, Bryson? All right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's right. I hate that. It's like, you know, people like it might be the Tom Brady fallacy where they just see Tom Brady that's, you know, awesome at absolutely everything. And they're like, no, we actually win with bad wide receivers. It's like, no, dummy, that's an anomaly. You need good wide receivers.
Go ask Sean McVay. Ask him. He's one of the brightest offensive minds in the league. And what does he do? He gets Devonta Adams, Puka Nacua, and I guarantee he's looking at the draft at what's the next receiver he's bringing in. So I don't give a shit what anybody says. Good scheme is important, but if you don't have the fucking players, good luck. Good fucking luck.
Yes. Indeed. It's like when we're talking about Matt Stafford, we're talking about his weapons. When we're talking about Drake May, okay, we're going to be doing the same shit in the fall if the Patriots don't upgrade their weapons. Okay, this is like no one should be resting on their laurels. We all need to talk. Me and Babs actually talked about it. Like Babs, for the people that love Babs, he started a movement and he's going to do big things because of that. All right. And that's organic. That's online. He got to talk to a billionaire because of an online social media movement. All right. The things you say online matter. That's what I've been saying in my articles. Like, we need to make noise about the Patriots doing stuff at wide receiver. Like, whether you think Will Campbell's a left guard or not, Mike Vrabel was asked that question after the Super Bowl. He had to answer it. And that's a lot of because of social media. So we need to go out there and say, like, okay, this is awesome, like what you did, but it just really is not good enough. The Patriots need more stuff. All right. Their schedule is harder. The haters are right about that. How bad would we feel if the Patriots won like 9 games or 10 games, like 8, 9 games? That would suck. Last year was awesome. This year would suck. Okay.
Yep.
It wouldn't surprise me. I got to be completely honest with you.
Right. It wouldn't, because you see what the Patriots offense is. They really, like you said, they got the pieces that they needed, which is really like a replacement of a lot of the things that they had, right? They got a fullback. Okay. They got a guard that could be awesome. Okay. How many games does that win you in the NFL? Seriously. Is the Seahawks sitting around and they're like, man, the Patriots have a guard and a fullback now, we are fucked? They're not saying that. Okay. They're like, you know what they're saying? They're like, I really hope that the Patriots don't get like
please let us pull the Patriots first round. That's what they're saying.
Seriously.
Looking at this team, that's what they're saying. Please let us pull this team in the first round.
Guys, the other thing we have to do, the other battle we're going to have to fight this offseason, no one wants to fight it. You're going to have to. You already talked about it earlier, and you guys were squeamish to talk about. Kashawn Booty stands, we are coming for you, okay? We are getting your boy off the field, all right? We are getting your boy off the field. Everyone in here knows it. We all saw the playoffs. We all saw the Super Bowl. This is a very useful player who's getting a Drake May bump. Look, I like Kashawn Booty. He's an okay player. He's useful. I've always called him like a B- player, but you can do better at that position, okay?
They're trying like hell to upgrade it.
You're taking on the Kashawn Booty armies. Eyes up.
I'm with you, man.
Them on, okay?
I'm with you. It's the mid. He is the mid. You are living in the mid.
He's the epitome of upper tier mid.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Here's where I think all of our grades are going to change, right? So we have B-, B+, B's, right? All of us are in there.
A if they trade Will Campbell.
Okay,
that's not in my criteria, but here's the thing: if
we'll make a wager on that, if you want to make a wager on it,
if we go into the season and we have a 3rd round receiver as our first receiver off the board, and we don't get AJ Brown, we don't get BTJ, we don't get Olave, we don't get any of these guys, it's gonna go to an F. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It's a fail. You better, like you said, you better hit at least a 2nd round receiver. Tight end, something. You need premium. I agree. You need to push hard on the premium players. You can go sign an edge right now. You can go sign a linebacker right now. And there's the depth at linebacker. You can grab a guy in the 3rd round and start him. Like, you can grab a guy, put him next to Spillane and start him. Like, literally, there's enough edge and linebacker talent. But guess what? There isn't. There's a fair amount of, like, okay, you got your Bryce Lances in the 4th and 5th round. But, like, the odds of him panning out are low. So you got to take higher percentage shots, even if it's 15%, even if it's a 15%, 20% shot, you got to take 1 or 2 of them. And if we don't do that or get AJ Brown or Brian Thomas Jr. or swing some other deep shot, then it's an F. It's an F, because we know what the result's going to be. It's going to be a Steelers season of 8 or 9 wins, and we're going to just barely either eke into the playoffs or barely miss it.
I got you, Joe, if what you're saying happens, if what you want to happen happens, which is the Patriots draft a wide receiver like early and he's good, and we get this, listen, we get to camp. All of us are at camp. We're doing podcasts. We're writing articles. PatsPro is doing podcasts. He's writing tweets, all right? We're out there and we're like, dude, this round 1 wide receiver is killing it. You know what? We are aiming our focus at the guy who's, remember the offseason report, like Kashawn Booty could get $18 million a year. Not over my dead body, okay? You're going to be the first ones going, hey, Kashawn Booty, enjoy enjoy this other team you're going to.
Ship them out.
Goodbye.
Yeah, ship 'em out.
Goodbye.
I
We're
agree.
waving you goodbye. As soon as that other guy starts making plays, hey, goodbye. You need to trade him like right then and there, okay? You can't have this. First of all, like I always say that every wide receiver is a slot, but not every slot is an outside wide receiver. And I really do think Kashawn Boutte is this weird player that actually can't play in the slot. All right.
I agree.
Yeah.
So it's like comes redundant, but does that make you guys think that they will look at a wide receiver? What are they thinking? Are they thinking we're good with Kashawn Boutte? He's cheap. Maybe we'll have to pay him later. Let's not draft a wide receiver. Or do you think they're like, because this is the key in the
we're fucked if that's what? Yeah, you're right. That's the linchpin. That's the linchpin.
Do they in the first round or second round? They're like, man, let's get this guy to compete with Kashawn Boutte. Then we don't have to pay him. If they think like that, I like that a lot. If they don't think like that, I think we're in big trouble. And Kashawn Boutte fans, you can cry about it.
I like Boutte a whole lot, man. I thought he had a great season. I think he has great ball skills, but it's obvious that they're trying to upgrade at that position specifically. They're trying to.
If Brown is here, Boutte's gone.
Exactly. Oh, absolutely, 100%. But yeah, they're trying to improve the X position. Romeo Doubs helps with that, so they're trying to push Boutte out. Yeah. So the next moves will inform that. But yeah, I think his days are numbered unless they get some depth, another guy in free agency and some guy in the draft. I think Boutte's days are a little bit numbered, even though I like the player.
Oh yeah,
he could be a draft trade. He could get traded on the draft, right? If Casey Concepcion drops, right, and we're like, okay, Casey in the slot, Dobbs, see you later, gone in the draft.
Yes. Imagine, imagine one of these contending teams that wants a wide receiver in the Patriots draft one high, and they're just like, we're not paying Boutte. Let's get him out of the paint before something else happens. I would be for that. Boutte stands, you're on my radar. Okay, you think you're safe with me? You're not safe with me. All right, you are literally number one on the radar. Okay, you're done.
I feel like they're trying to upgrade that position, like in no uncertain terms. But guys, do you have any concern? I know we're wrapping up, but do you have any concern at all about AJ Brown and his like introverted malcontentness? Do you think that he's going to be a chemistry fit for this particular team?
Yeah, PatsPro, give us your answer on that one.
You think he's going to be a baby about it? What do you think he's going to do?
I have absolutely no concerns whatsoever about AJ Brown's temperament on the Patriots, specifically because of Mike Vrabel. Okay. I think AJ Brown's temperament and issues that he's currently experiencing on the Eagles.
Jalen Hurts. He hates Jalen Hurts.
A lack of respect of Jalen Hurts and a lack of respect of that fucking idiot Nick Sirianni. I was going to say Caserio, but Nick Sirianni. Both of those guys are just fucking weirdo tryhards. Like I don't like their energy. I don't understand how they can, be leaders of a team and entertain a room. I don't get it. I've never seen it. They won a Super Bowl. That's cool, but I just don't see Jalen Hurts as the type of quarterback who's going to keep a receiver like AJ Brown happy, especially when you're missing him by fucking 5 yards every time you try to throw the ball to him. So you have Drake May, you have Mike Vrabel, who is AJ Brown's former coach. You think Drake May is going to fuck around and be like, nah, let me not try to fit it into a tight ass hole to AJ Brown.
No, he'll always give his guys a shot.
Yes. No pause. No pause whatsoever.
I'm sweating. Hold on.
Yeah, it's all right. But like you think Drake May, being the gunslinger that he isn't going to try to get every ball to AJ Brown that he can, whether he's open or not, because he knows AJ Brown is the type of talent who's going to muscle out for that ball and catch it, box out for that ball, I should say, muscle a guy out. You know what I mean?
Like we said about the number ones get open, right?
Ones for a reason.
And Jalen Hurts is not a number one quarterback.
He's not. He's not.
Jalen Hurts is a one read.
He's come nowhere close to any MVP voting. Drake May did it in his second year. He was should have been the MVP in my opinion. Now, having said that, getting back to the original point, don't have any concerns about AJ Brown's mentality. I do, however, have concerns about AJ Brown's knees.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's just something that bugs the shit out of me. And I'm sure it's probably fine for the next 2-3 years, which is really all we'll, need him for anyways with this contract. But boy, that it just scares the shit out of me.
I'm now scared too. I'm scared now too.
He's got the arthritic knees.
Yeah. So like, if it's me, I would rather try to sneak Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Arizona.
I kind of like it. Yeah.
I would also try to get Chris Olave out of New Orleans, because listen, everyone can say, oh, they weren't trying to shop him. Yes, they fucking were. They were. It's just as simple as that. So but realistically, I would want to try to sneak Marvin Harrison Jr. with the 31st overall from Carolina. That would be like my, we're not fucking
from Arizona. You mean from
Arizona, not Carolina? Yeah, Cardinals, Carolina. You know what I mean? Yeah. The brain. It's 9:30 at night. I'm an old man. It's almost bedtime.
Words.
But that's what I would kind of want to keep an eye on if they're going to go that way. And AJ Brown's not really an option for them anymore due to the obvious concerns with compensation going back. I would want to look at like really taking a swing. A Chris Olave, Marvin Harrison Jr., Brian Thomas Jr., somebody just, let's improve the team in a meaningful way and allow these two players to grow. Drake May, whatever wide receiver that is.
So PatsPro, would you give a first round pick for any of the receivers that you just mentioned?
I would give a first round pick for Brian Thomas Jr.
100%.
Wow.
I would give a first round pick for Marvin Harrison Jr. as well.
Because I go for Olave. I think we're so desperate right now that I think I would even do it for Olave.
Olave, I'd probably toss like a second and like a sixth or something like that.
Second and a sixth, I could see that. So, Booty in a second. Boom.
Yeah, Booty in a second would also be something that could work.
I love that. I love that.
Marvin Harrison Jr. specifically.
Let's turn it into the front office right now. Get the paperwork in. Let's go.
I really think that MHJ is the guy you want to target in that scenario.
Hell yeah.
I agree. All right, boys, I actually have to run, but it's been an awesome show, guys. We went an hour and 11 minutes. Just imagine what show we're going to put on when we get one of these big signings or after the draft. Because I'm feeling it. I'm with you, Bryson. I'm willing this. It's going to come. It's going to happen. They understand the importance. They understand this rookie contract. You got Gonzo and Drake May on a rookie contract. This is the year. I don't give a shit what anybody says. We're not, it's the second year of the rebuild. Calm down, slow down. No, fuck you. We're going all in. We're going balls deep. Surround Drake May with talent. If you let this kid flounder and not have talent around him for another year, I'm coming to Gillette with as many rocks as I can gather in a sack, and I'm going to start throwing them at the building until they go get somebody.
Joe, the last thing you need to say is, Drake May, get home from wherever you're at. Put the
in Japan down, or something.
Throw some footballs, eat some weight gainer. You're taking 50 sacks a year. You need to gain 10 pounds. That means you need to be doing your push-ups, lifting your weights. Come home, Drake. Okay.
You know what? He needs to get in the gym.
Put that sword down.
He needs to get in the gym. Drake
needs to
get in the damn gym. I'm not joking at all.
No nap. No days off.
Come home, Drake. Get out of Japan. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Come home.
All right, boys. Well, great show. And as always, let's fucking go.